You ready to watch a movie?
Yeah.
All right. Does that sound a little better? Get it, bud.
Hey, good work out there.
Yeah, Kev. Go for it. Oh!
It's so quiet.
That was big.
My name is Kevin Nichols. I'm a professional skier in the wintertime. I compete on the Freeride World Tour.
All right, Kev!
To me, I think skiing didn't come easy to me, but I think I understood it more than I understood anything else in the world.
It's in Celsius? What does this mean?
Yeah.
The whole like stigma and everything behind epilepsy and kind of the global consensus is that and that's all it is. You know, but it's more complicated, and I was really nervous and scared to go to the Freeride World Tour and be like, hey, I have this condition. It's totally fine, even though I have it, but because I was allergic, and dude, my allergy to zonisamide was like 1 in a million. My doctor has only found 3 case studies in the world that people had the same reaction that I did. So I basically had overnight applied for a wild card, had to call all my sponsors and tell them why I couldn't travel, because the decision was out of my hands. It's a lifestyle of managing risk, taking control and dropping in and having fun. And then all of a sudden I was forced to realize maybe there's this risk that I can't control. So when I was 3 years old, it's kind of a funny story. My babysitter called me Humpty Dumpty. And my parents came home and she was like, bye Humpty Dumpty. And my parents were like, why do you call him Humpty Dumpty? And she was like, oh, he's like always falling down, and he's like falling down the stairs, and he's like, his head's always dropping. My parents were like, huh, well, that's not normal, so. I went to a children's hospital in Denver, and they ran some tests and stuff, and I got diagnosed with myoclonic atonic epilepsy, which is when you basically kind of just shut down and you briefly lose consciousness and your head drops. So the epilepsy medication at the time was Depakote, which prevents seizures altogether. So when I was 3, I was told, you've grown out of seizures. Like, they gave me Depakote, I was seizure-free for like a year, and they're like, you look great, you know, you grew out of it. You know, it is not incredibly uncommon for juvenile epilepsy to kind of fade away with the child's development. So yeah, I never really knew much of it. My mom just kind of hid me from it, respectfully so. I don't think she wanted me to kind of have this preconceived notion that something was wrong with my brain.
Show me backpack with all your wires and turn back, say Frankenstein.
And I mean, except from, this going on right now, like, epilepsy is invisible. A lot of people don't understand how complex it is, and in a lot of cases, it's a very minor thing. In some cases, or even other cases, it's a very major thing. It's life-changing.
Did you ever feel the epilepsy affect the way you...
Yeah, so, like, I always had these weird things. Like, like, my arm would twitch, and then I would just kind of have, like, days where I'd feel off, or, like, weird things would happen. And, like, I'd just be, like, sitting in a classroom or something, taking a test, and I couldn't read. Like, I couldn't, like, letters meant nothing to me. Or I'd be sitting in my house or, going to work or something, and I have these weird moments where I, like, didn't know who I was. And it was, like, they were just, like, weird things. They were super short-lived. The muscle twitching, arm jerking, and the kind of weird head spaces I'd get in. But I've always experienced that, so I never really thought much. So, in October of 2020, I'm working full time. I worked 40 plus hours. It was Halloween, I think it was on a Friday or a Saturday. And I just was like having a tough week. I wasn't doing super well in school. I was stressed. I had finals coming out. I just worked like 40 plus hours. But it's Halloween weekend, so we go out, we're having fun with my friends, and we're at my girlfriend's house, and I went to the bathroom, and it happened. It just happened. And I came to on the ground floor in her bathroom, so out of it. The only thing I could kind of think when I started being able to process thoughts was like, it's back.
First ski day of the year.
When we were kids, we didn't really want to do the whole beach vacation. We wanted to like travel and ski. And when we kind of discovered big mountain skiing and freeride skiing, it was like, that's what we spent doing on vacations. My parents worked really, really hard to make sure we could go to all these cool mountains, meet these great people, and just shred. And, that was something that me and my brothers gravitated towards.
This is, they all learned how to ski on these skis. I think he doesn't like this. I don't know. I can't throw it away. I think it's really cute. Sorry, Kevin. Here's some stuff that Kevin left home before he moved to Bozeman. This is him in Grand Targhee. I think he was 12 or 13.
Yeah, skiing has always been a family affair for my family. I mean, my parents met skiing. My dad would tell stories about how he would essentially have to drag us off the hill every day. We didn't ever want to go home. Jack and I ended up at Montana State together, and going into college was still something we wanted to do. The primary objective, of course, is like getting your education, but we worked hard. I worked full time in school so that I could spend money driving my Toyota Tacoma with my brother, go to Revelstoke every year and do these ski comps, sleep in the back of the truck, and just live. I mean, we were super lucky growing up. Like, the timing of when we got into freeride, there was no national rankings. It wasn't super competitive by any means. And so we were just kind of doing it for the love. And then, one year things just started to click.
Oh yeah, I could hear it.
Well, actually, that's not really true.
Bust.
I guess I had a pretty tough entry into the adult qualifiers of freeride. There's like my first year was a bus. I would just send and explode, and I didn't land anything.
Kevin Nichols. Spicy meatball.
And my second and third year, I like kind of started figuring out. Like I got a podium here and there, and then in 2019, things really started to click. And like right off the bat, first 3 events, got second, first. And it all happened so fast. I was like, whoa, like this is pretty sweet. And then at the third event I won, my brother got second. And then he finished out the season with a second, and they got first and like a 7th. And that led us to qualify on the Freeride World Tour together.
You got the time, man.
We're going right back up to start number 2. We're looking at Kevin Nichols, the KevBot. This is one of the most free and easy free spirits on the Freeride World Tour. He owned the qualifying tour last year, and he wants to back it up here now that he's on the SWT. Taking off switch.
Switch to double Defi.
Seeming a huge 360 from Kev. This is what we came for. Kevin Nichols now finding his feet here on the Freeride World Tour.
Stay on your feet, get to the finish line, celebrate with your homie Isaac. That was a rad run.
More than anything, I just wanted to ski the best I could and have as much fun as I possibly could.
Kevin Nichols, 5th place right now with 86 points. That is the run he was looking for. He is stoked too.
So I had 2 months basically. And anyone who's tried managing epilepsy and seizures knows that like that's not a very long time. Luckily enough, the first medication I put on seemed to work. These weird head things and episodes I would have, they stopped happening. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. January rolls around, I'm feeling good, I'm skiing. With epilepsy medication though, it's most of them you build a titration. So they give you 1 dose and then you work up to that for 2 weeks. And you get blood drawn, see if anything's happened with your body, how your body accepts it. So I was building titration over 6 weeks long, right before I'm going on tour. And I get my final blood draw. And I'm also getting a COVID test because I'm going to Switzerland the next day. I do my blood draw, I get my COVID test, I'm negative, I'm like, hell yeah. Freeride World Tour 2021, I'm going, nothing can stop me. 20 minutes later, I'm driving home from the hospital, going to pack my bags. Now, who am I kidding? I was mostly packed. And I get a call from my doctor, and they said, where are you right now? I was like, just driving home from the doctor, and they said, we got your blood work back. You are neutropenic, meaning your white blood cells that are used to fight infection and disease and everything, I had completely decimated my white blood cell count. I had at a time 10 neutrophil white blood cells, which is similar to like a chemo patient. So they called me and they were like, whatever you're doing, stop. Stop taking the medication. I'm like, well, stop taking the medication. I'm gonna have seizures. And they're like, we know, just stop. We gotta figure this out. I was like, okay, like what are we gonna do? And they gave me a whole list of things like, okay, don't eat chicken, don't eat vegetables unless they've been cooked, don't eat this, don't eat that. I'm like, why? And they're like, because if you eat chicken and you get salmonella, your body won't be able to fight it off and you'll die.
2021, when Kevin was re-diagnosed with epilepsy. As a parent, it was really hard to watch him go through the struggles and what he had to endure just to get through it. I mean, he was so looking forward to going on the World Tour, and then bam, this happened. and now he's got to go to doctor appointments, and he's got to get on medications, and he's got to do this, that, and the other thing. And all of a sudden, you know, the skiing's going to take a back seat to his health.
I was like, okay, well, I'm going to Switzerland tomorrow. Like, I'm going to compete all year. Like, we got to figure this out. Basically, my neurologist called me after I had said that and said, if you go to Switzerland tomorrow, I refuse to provide you care. I will not give you medication. You are on your own. If you want to go to Europe, you're going to have to find a neurologist, take an EEG, have him administer you medication for your epilepsy, and then monitor you as you take that medication.
And he has a long road in front of him because he knows he's got to do some trials with meds and learn how to live with the meds and the adversity that he is faced with day in, day out. And I was going to school and all that. And then, you know, we're all trying to support him, but it's hard to relate to him. It's really hard to put yourself in his position. You know, as try as you might, you can't do it. Last November, I was diagnosed with cancer. Is, you know, that's enough to, you know, that's a gut punch right there. The cancer obviously affects the whole dynamic of the family. But what I learned there was that I had a different relationship with my cancer in each one of you. And the relationship I had with Kevin in cancer was actually quite unique in that he could totally relate to everything I was going through with all the doctor appointments and all the tests. And the hardest part of cancer I've found is they tell you have it, and then there's this lag time between here's what we got to do to fix it. And Kevin went through that. He's like, well, you have epilepsy again, and it's going to take us a little while to figure out how to manage this with you. I don't know, maybe that's a gift that we have with each other, but it's definitely brought Kevin and me to a unique relationship because of something that is wrong with us and the adversity we have to go through to get through it. So
that was it. The decision was made for me, and I was absolutely crushed. I couldn't go on Freeride World Tour. And I battled with how I dealt with that for a while. Because for a while, I was super pissed. I was super pissed at doctors. I was super pissed at myself for asking for help. I was just mad. But, you know, time moves on. Time doesn't stop for anyone.
Interesting face. There's been a lot of wind, not a lot of snow.
You could go like this into the chute, turn, and then out the other way. That could be pretty sick, actually.
Yeah, Kev Nichols, he's a smooth character. He's another one with a bunch of tricks in the mix. So pretty excited. 96.67 is the score to beat to take over the hot seat. That's a big ask for anybody right now after what Max did.
Dude, that was probably really scary. You probably can't remember.
I know, yeah, I'm just feeling around.
Yeah.
Solid.
Hectic.
Let's see what's going on.
So starting first will be Kevin Nichols.
Depends. I think it's kind of tough going first, so Kev's got a good job, but I like going early. I like getting it over with, watching everyone else throw down.
I think sun's gonna pop out and make the snow perfect for us. Yeah, and shout out to Kev for opening us up. It's gonna be a sick comp.
And you can look from the bottom all you want, but when you're up there and you can't see anything and it just rolls over, you can't see anything below you, you just start, at least I did, I started just second guessing myself.
Absolutely. So look at this young buck, Kevin Nichols.
All of a sudden you're in the gate, your skis are on, some dude's like, all right, 10 seconds.
And how difficult do you think it is going to be for the riders to find where they're going?
Come on, give him some good.
That transfer was sick. So many transfers actually.
Nice shot.
And I don't care about my results really, or this or that. I just want to ski a line and make it to the bottom and stay on my feet. And I haven't done anything close to that. And all of a sudden, the third and possible final event's coming up.
Usually you can take off pretty much everywhere, and now this rock's sticking out. It doesn't look inviting at all.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks firm and fast.
Dropping. So Kevin Nichols coming down. Is he going to get way over into the big dog land? Kevin Nichols stomping it out the bottom from an absolute monumental takeoff.
Yeah, buddy. Oh, I finally landed a run. You did it? I finally landed a run. You don't have to like ever worry about that shit.
I was told that if I got 5th or better and certain individuals didn't do well and they ended up a certain way, I could punch my ticket. You guys are gonna hype me up that I haven't landed a run and that I'm gonna do something crazy, but I'm not. I always just want to ski to have fun. And like sure enough, that's what happens. I was in the start gate and I forget which announcer said it, but they were like, and this is Kevin, he hasn't done well. If he wants a shot, it's all or nothing. He's going for broke. And I was chilling, man. I was just happy to be there. And like that comp especially, like I always take time to sit in the start gate and you look around about all the work everyone's doing to make these events happen, and you just gotta take it in and appreciate it.
That 3 up top was so sick.
I always thought my story was going to be like a comeback story, where I returned to the tour after my epilepsy diagnosis and achieved my dream of standing on a Freeride World Tour podium. Obviously, that didn't happen. My story is that, as a male athlete, I wanted to hide what was wrong with me and focus on my sport. But because of circumstances, I was forced to embrace what was wrong with me and talk about it, which was really, really hard. In doing so, I realized that when you're vulnerable and talk about what you're battling, you realize that everyone around you on earth is also battling something. When you honestly talk about your battles, it allows you to open up and form really unique and special relationships that help you overcome the unthinkable. That's the podium I found myself on, and that's the podium I'm proud to be on.
Shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer.
Enjoy!
Oh, let it go. Let it go. Simmer. We're cooking.
Dessus.